Hi, and welcome to the Stars Tarot, and thank you for joining me in this bigger card reading. I have the cards of choice ready for you, and I will give you a top level shot so you can actually see the cards a little bit better. But this reading is basically everything love related. So I said in an announcement that it will be about love situationships, but it can be kind of the whole theme of love. So we're just going to have a closer look at what is happening within love connections. And it doesn't really matter if you're single or in a relationship or, in a situationship, not sure where you are with someone that you're attracted to or really like. We're just going to delve into what you need to know about, the energy surrounding your love life. So I'm going to give you the shot on from the top view of the cards. I've also added items with the cards so that may be easier for you to choose a particular card. And just as a reminder, this is a general reading. Not everything may apply to everyone that's watching this. Be discerning for yourself. Listen to your intuition. Acknowledge if something is really, if it's really resonating for you, and if it doesn't, just let it go and maybe pick another pile. It's always possible that you're kind of doubting which pile to choose. And if that's the case, maybe just watch all of the piles readings or just choose two, whatever you feel like. But see what resonates for you and what really attracts you with how the explanation and narrative of the cards is appealing to you. So I hope you will enjoy this reading. It's always really helpful and lovely if you can like, comment, or even give me a follow if you feel to do that. But please let me know how these readings resonated with you, and I really hope that something useful is in there for you. Thank you, and see you soon. And these are the piles that you can pick from for today's reading. From left to right, you can pick pile number 1, pile number 2 in the middle, and pile number 3 on the right. And if you're unsure about which card to pick, you can also go by the item that is above the card. So for pile number 1, it's a shell. Pile number 2, it's a rose quartz. And pile number 3, it's the red jasper in the shape of a pointed tower almost. So give yourself a couple of moments to decide which card or item is really catching your attention. What do you intuitively feel the most attracted to? And if you have chosen, we now go to the readings of each pile. Hi, if you've chosen pile number 1, then this is your reading. So first off, if you picked pile number 1, you might have chosen based on the item, based on this lovely shell. Or you may have just picked from the tarot card that was displayed, and let's turn around what card it is. And it is the Empress, and I believe, I don't really remember from which deck this is. I haven't used it in a long time, but it's, I believe, the Celtic Tarot. And the card the Empress is about abundance, fertility, and because it's often a card of fertility, it could be connected to pregnancy. So if this is something that is, like a question or a topic that is really in your mind, then this might be the perfect pile for you, because it is definitely giving you a signal that there is some type of growth, some type of gestation going around that could result in a pregnancy. But since this is sort of the overarching theme of this pile 1 reading, I think it makes sense to kind of consider the card in its upright state. So this state of abundance and nature, pregnancy, fertility, anything that has a type of growth to it. But if we would have this card in the reverse position, then it could mean overbearing, a controlling nature, sort of the matriarch gone wrong, basically. So either one could possibly have some type of meaning in your love connection at the moment. So it's just up to you to decide which you kind of, affiliate more with that type of meaning. But this is the overarching theme for the people that have picked pile number one. Okay, so let's continue and see what else is going to come up besides the Empress. So as I said, this is, I believe it's called the Celtic Tarot, but I'm really unsure. I don't think I kept the original box. But let's just see what else it is that you need to know about your love connection. And, love connection can be, it could be a situationship, but it could also definitely just be, a connection that that's just not firmly labeled yet as a relationship, but you're in a dating scene and you're interested in someone, or in more general, if you just, you're not really looking for anything in terms of partnerships, but you are interested in finding out what, love might bring you at this time. So we're just going to ask, what does pile number one need to know about their love connection? What does pile number one need to know about their love connection? Okay, that was enough shuffling. Okay, let's see. All right, I picked out the Two of Pentacles. It means that at the moment, if you're sort of like dating around and you're not really set on anything or anyone just yet, the Two of Pentacles signifying that maybe there's two possible people that you're feeling really attracted to at the moment. So it could be that you're kind of weighing up who it is that you feel more attracted to, and you're kind of fluctuating between, okay, is it this person or is it that person? So as you can see in this illustration, this is not a particularly calm looking card, like there's quite a lot of movement in this card. So this is really quite about weighing your options. So it could be pertaining to people, but it could also be sort of your love life in general, that you're just really in two minds about it. Like maybe you're just feeling way too, way too scattered in your life to really even think about, love or pursuing a relationship, if that's what you were looking for. There may be just too much going on, and in that case, you might not be really sure what kind of role love is going to play in your life at this moment. So it's really quite an indecisive card, but it's also a card about trying to juggle everything, trying to balance everything that you have on your plate at the moment. So it might just be that you're feeling, feeling overwhelmed and just not sure about what it is that you need to do. So let's just see if we can get some more information on that. For pile number one, what does pile number one need to know about the love connection? So as I said, it could be about two people. Let's see what this is. Six of Wands. This is a card of victory and success, about recognition. Okay, let's just see what else. What does pile one need to know? Well, this one also flew out. This is the Hanged Man. Let's see, no, it is called the Hanged Man also in this deck. It just looked a little slightly different than the traditional tarot cards, but this is indeed number 12, the Hanged Man, a Major Arcana card. And the Hanged Man is about a temporary pause. There is some type of reflection and suspense going on at the moment. Okay, let's see what else. Those just kind of flew out way too many. The Knight of Pentacles. This is a court card. This could actually indicate a particular individual with the characteristics of the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is quite a slow-moving knight. But it does kind of signify that something is going to come towards you in terms of an offer from a person, because, you know, this knight is on horseback, but it's holding this pentacle, and the pentacles are, you know, the tangible things in life. So it's about the materialistic side of the world, not only in terms of monetary value of finances, but also in terms of abundance more generally. So it might be that the Knight of Pentacles type of person is going to offer you something tangible. So this might be a person that you're currently interested in. And, you know, if you're kind of thinking like, oh, I know this person who is quite, you know, not the fastest moving person, but really dedicated and really loyal and hardworking. If this is the kind of person that you might have in mind, then you can expect an offer from them. So it might be, you know, going out on a date. It might be something really practical that they just offer you their time and attention. So yeah, so it could be that you will receive an invitation for, you know, maybe going to an art gallery or something, or to a play. I'm just, you know, giving a few examples, but that might be something that is coming towards you with that type of individual. Okay, let's see what else. This pile one. Okay, the next card that I drew is the Death card. This means there's a really quite a significant energy of change going on, of ending one cycle and starting a new one. I'm just wondering now, as I see these cards, because it's not very, you know, this is not the pile where you go and say, based on the cards that are in front of me, that it is like, okay, this is a type of person that is now in your life, that you're dating, and this is what you can expect to happen. I feel it's a bit more, the energy that I get from this is really more insecure. So I'm just wondering if this pile will be chosen by, you know, some people who feel that they need more, that they're ready for more abundance in their life, or thinking about, like, you know, I would like to, you know, I would like to be pregnant at some point in my life, but I'm just not having anyone in my life currently that could sort of like fit with me, and I'm not really sure what that future will look like. So I think this is more about some type of, you know, not knowingness, about, you know, feeling quite heavy about, you know, just too much going on in your life and not really having time for building a relationship, and, you know, and really pursuing love in the sense that you feel that it can have a significant place in your life at the moment. I mean, these cards are quite singular. You know, mostly love cards in the tarot deck would really be at least, you know, two individuals in the depiction together. And this is quite, you know, this person is alone, but it is a card of victory and success and recognition. This is one singular figure, which is really about everything being sort of on hold, so that you can gain a different perspective. I mean, this could be definitely someone that is coming towards you with that offer that I just spoke about. But because the Death card is here, I'm just wondering if maybe this is someone that you're not really that interested in, because, you know, the Death card is really speaking about an ending, and it's also about starting a new chapter. But I'm getting the sense that this is maybe not something that you want with this particular person that you might identify this Knight of Pentacles with. So let's just see what else. I'm going to pull one more card from this tarot deck, and then we're going to go over to the Romance Angels deck. Maybe that will tell us a bit more. Let's see what flies out. A Nine of Cups. Yeah, I kind of feel like there's more of and maybe it's a very conscious choice as well, because the Lovers also fell out. The Lovers can be a card about partnership, but mostly it's a card about choosing something. So you're either choosing to really be with someone regardless of any other factor in life, or choosing to not have that. And the Nine of Cups is a card of satisfaction, but it's a very singular satisfaction. There's only one person here in this card, surrounded by a lot of cups, so there's a lot of emotions, but it's very satisfactory emotion, just very, kind of like happy and pleased with what you have. So I'm wondering with this pile if the overarching energy and the bigger theme here is just creating abundance for yourself, and not being that overly focused on love, because you're either, wanting getting out of that chaos and going into calmer waters without having so much on your plate to juggle altogether, and going to that state of harmony. But that means that you need that different perspective. So I think that theme of abundance and practicality and fertility is more about your own individual growth in that sense. I think I don't really see a lot of love cards here. Besides the Empress, like I said, this can really be about fertility and pregnancy. But for some reason, I'm not sensing like a real upcoming partnership just yet. That offer may actually, come to think of it, even though we're not really asking that question, but I just get much more of a work vibe here. The Pentacles, like I said, it's about the materialistic side, and it can be monetary value and finances and everything like that. But maybe this is actually about a job offer that's coming in. And I know that seems a bit odd because we're asking about love connections, but it could also be that a job offer or some type of new project will connect you to your new love interest. So there might be something about that. But so far, I think this is kind of like the pile that people will choose if they are really single. And either they're not really looking, but they're kind of interested in, when will love come into my path, because I would like to go towards that, timeline of having love and a real partnership in my life at some point, but they're just not really there yet because the focus is more on being successful in career. Well, this is a love card, the Ace of Cups. This means that there will be an overflow of emotion coming your way, and it can definitely be about a falling in love type of energy. So there's again some type of newness coming in, the spark or the initial reaction of overwhelming feelings. So that is quite nice actually, because it follows the Death card, so you're going to this kind of transformational process within yourself that is leading you into a new chapter, and the new chapter is going to bring you a new abundance of feeling that you're ready, to embrace an emotional connection, and that you really feel ready for that because you've done kind of like the hard work of making your life more adjustable to where you want it to be. So this is the first kind of indication that I'm seeing here, that this is about a possible love connection. But I feel you've gone, for most people, this is a general reading, so it will not resonate for everyone. But in general, I really feel like the people that will pick this pile, or that have chosen this pile, have really kind of like gone through the ringer a bit. There's really been a lot, and you either are in this space where you are seeing a different kind of perspective, that you're looking in a new way to your future. So either you are at that point, or you are going to be at that point very soon. But either way, there's kind of there's a lot of work here in the cards, like not only in a very literal sense in terms of a possible job offer that may lead to a new connection in love, but also in terms of you've just really done a lot of work to get to the point where you need to be. Meanwhile, the Queen of Wands fell out. So the Queen, we have court cards in the tarot decks, and the Queen does not necessarily indicate gender. It's just more about the energy of the card. And the Queen of Wands is an energy of creativity, spirituality. It's a kind of like internal action, but really feeling confident about everything that's coming your way. So I think that most people that picked pile one might start to feel like this Queen of Wands, like feeling really inspirational after having done so much inner work and tackled a lot of challenges to be where you are, to be successful, and to be victorious in what you do. And you're starting to become more and more ready. So this Ace of Cups is coming. So I don't know. I'm just kind of like getting more stronger now that a potential new project or job is going to lead to a love connection. There might be love coming, on your way, because that is the path from now on. Okay, I said previously I would do one more card, but it kind of just fell out, so I'm just going with it. Let's see what else. What does pile one need to know about their love life? Okay, let's do one more. What does pile one need to know about their love life? What does pile one need to know about their love life? What does pile one need to know about their love life? Page of Swords. The pages are cards of messages coming forward. And the Swords is a card of communication, about intellect, about the mental realm. So you could receive some information that is connected to your love life. And I'm either this is really connected to some type of work that's coming your way. And I mean, I'm reading these cards mostly for single people, but it could also actually apply to people that are already in a relationship. The Empress being sort of like the female partnership. Perhaps your relationship has been a bit in a stalemate lately. And you kind of had to work a lot either on yourself individual or in tandem with your significant other to kind of get to a point where you are out of your rut. Like maybe at some point there was a new offer coming in for newness, but it was kind of like stopped because this transformation process was going on. And that seems to be happening right now, or it's just been concluded, and now there's this newness of emotions coming in, this new energy of accepting an emotional aspect of the relationship. So either way, this reading for pile one can really apply to singles and to people in a relationship already. But there is definitely something here with this Queen of Wands, this Ace of Cups that is here, and this Page of Swords. And I said that the Page of Swords is a card of, messages coming in. It can be communication coming in. But if we take these cards quite literally in terms of court cards that they are, so a queen and a page, the page is a lower ranking card than the queen. It might even be that a younger person is going to be a new love connection. So maybe through work, through a new project, you meet someone that is younger than yourself, and you might really feel a very strong connection with this person that may or may not lead into a relationship. The thing is with the Ace of Cups is that it's just the indication of a initial spark. It doesn't promise yet a full-on equal partnership. It just means that there is definitely an attraction, there's something there, but it doesn't say yet where that connection is going to go towards in the future. So that's still something that needs to be kind of played out. But it could definitely be a connection with someone younger than yourself. And now let's see for pile number one. Let's see what comes out from the Romance Angels deck. What does pile one need to know about their love life? What does pile one need to know about their love life? What does pile one need to know about their love life? What does pile one need Just curious what this one is. Past life relationship. What does it say? Yeah, you've known each other before. So this new person that might come in, it could be someone that you really have like a familiar connection to. I think we all have had that feeling when you see someone and you go like, oh, I feel like such a different sort of connection with, even though I don't know you, but I just feel something different with you. So it might be that this person is coming from a past life connection. And I dropped a card. I just quickly want to pick it up. I dropped a card that fell on the floor. And let's just see what else is going to come out from the Romance Angels deck. Does Pile 1 need to know about their love connection? Does Pile 1 need to know their love connections? Unrequited love came out, and this card says there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. Yeah, so I really feel that love has been a bit on the back burner in your life lately, or that is for if you are single. If you're in a relationship, then love has been a bit in the back burner in your relationship because of work or other commitments, and you kind of fell into a rut because of that. And it's time to get that chemistry and that attraction to reignite that again. What fell out? Stay optimistic about your love life. Yeah, that's quite significant that I was just telling, about this reignition of feelings. And it says stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So I see that as an acknowledgement that what I was saying is possibly resonating with a lot of you that are watching this particular reading for Pile 1. Then also fell out healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. Okay, so really, besides work and other, tangible commitments in life, there may have been this underlying energy as well that's really, keeping you occupied about healing family issues. Maybe you had to come to terms with something within your family's past. Let's see if we can get one more card. What is Pile 1 needs to know? Okay, let's just put that back because that just fall out weirdly. What's Pile 1 needs to know about their love life? What's Pile 1 needs to know about their love life? Let's see what else. Honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Yeah, so I think this is really more of a message for those of you that are already in a relationship. I really feel this heavy lifting that's been done and possibly very soon being dealt with. And now you have to, take this Ace of Cups and kind of make sure that you are making emotional connections again with your significant other. And one way of doing that might be taking a short holiday together, or maybe even a weekend trip, or something that you can really feel connected with each other again. So that's coming out for this pile. And then I just want to do one more deck, the Angel Answers Oracle card deck. Let's just see if there's something from there popping out. Love its spirits. What is life? That already fell out. Oh, okay, yes. Just a confirmation that something will happen, and I'm kind of seeing this as a confirmation of this reading. I really feel that something in that Knight of Pentacles, in that offer that you might receive, that is going to lead you to a new love interest. So that is that Ace of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and that Page of Swords. So someone younger than you. But that is coming your way. that is definitely going to be in the future. What does pile 1 need to know about their love life or love connections? What does pile 1 need to know about their love connections? Oh, it says unlikely. Okay. We got a yes and an unlikely. That's kind of confusing. Let me just quickly see in the book, what does that mean, unlikely? What is that? Because that's kind of a confusing message here. Let me quickly see if we can make a bit more sense of that. Unlikely. Unlikely. Okay, the situation you've asked about is unlikely to occur as you are imagining it. There may be a different version of events that will take place. Or it may be that what you've asked about is simply not in your highest greatest good. Place your focus on an alternative possibility and open your eyes to different opportunities. Be willing to experience a unique and more uplifting outcome than what you have planned for yourself. Yeah, so I think this card is saying that, don't try to imagine, scenarios that you've already laid out for yourself too much about how this is going to happen. Often, if you kind of believe in sort of this law of attraction, it's better to not be obsessively thinking about how something will happen, but just kind of release and surrender and just, go with the flow, take it as it comes. And I feel that, even though this yes card is saying like, okay, yes, something will happen which will put you in the path of someone new that is younger. It might be through work, or it might be because you've just done a lot of inner work in terms of your own development that is now leading you into this more abundant and life of having more. Fertility can not only be pregnancy, but also fertility as in the sense of there's more growth in general. So I think the unlikely card here means that don't focus too much on how this will happen. I hope you've received answers from this reading now that are applicable to you, but also don't pin too much on it. Just kind of like take it in and also let it go at the same time. Just don't, start waiting for this moment when it will happen. Just kind of release it and just trust that it will happen. And do not, kind of think like, oh, this will happen in 1 week. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Like the spiritual realm doesn't really have time in the sense that we experience time. So, just try not to focus too much on like, oh, actually I have a job interview lined up next week. Maybe I will get this job and then someone is gonna come in my way. That might happen, but it also may not be that particular job. It may be, a job offer that is not for this one that you have in mind, but for something else. So that's where I think the unlikely card is coming in. Let's get one more. What does pile 1 need to know about their love life? What does pile 1 need to know about their love life? If you believe, okay. If you believe, I really feel that these are quite contradictory messages. Actually, I just want to see if you believe. What does it say in the guidance book? Let's see. If you believe, what does that mean? What you need right now is faith. You can have what you desire, but you must believe that it can be so. Stay positive and visualize the outcome you are hoping for. Set aside all negativity or pessimism in favor of a sunny outlook. The law of attraction brings to us what we expect to receive. If our perception is that we deserve great things, then we will attract happiness. If we fall in doubt and don't believe in our own self-worth, then our experiences will match that energy. believe in yourself and cherish and your cherished dreams. I think this is more a confirmation of what I mentioned earlier about this unlikely card. So if you believe, it's more about just have faith that someone will enter your life, and don't focus too much on the smaller details on how and when or what. Just kind of really take it as it comes. And I think, the best things always happen when we are detached from certain situations and we don't really have a set of expectations attached to it. So I think that is really the, sort of like emphasizing the previous messages in this reading. Okay, one last. You know what? I'm actually going to switch decks. I'm actually will take this one, the Romance Angels deck. One last message for pile number 1, and then I'm going to end the reading for this pile. Pile number 1, what do they need to know about their love life? For this pile number 1, need to know about their love life. This one's ticking. Okay. I will show you the card just in a second. I just want to see if another one is popping out. What does pile 1 need to know about the love life? So last message. Finances and career, but can you believe what fell out? What fell out is let go of control issues. Yeah, so there's definitely something about being too obsessive in your mind about things that need to occur, need to happen a certain way. Because below it says allow this situation to unfold naturally. So this is just confirmation about what I just mentioned before. It's just take it how it comes and don't invest too much in a certain outcome. Just let it flow, let it happen. And then the last card was finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. So yeah, I really feel this is connected with the sort of like the earlier part of this reading, where I feel there's been that sort of chaoticness and doing so much at the same time all at once, that's kind of throwing you off your balance a little bit, and it takes you a lot of energy to find that balance again. And one of the factors may have been your financial situation, and connected to that, a possible career motive. But there's everything in this card is saying that you do not need to worry about this, because you will be victorious. I mean, there was the 6 of Wands, and the 6 of Wands, this victory and success will lead you to understand everything from a different perspective. There will be, everything is a bit in suspension at the moment, but it's because things are, playing itself out in the background, and not everything is set in stone yet. So I'm mixing up my cards here from different decks. I see. You just have to do that. There's no need to worry. You're just going through quite a transformational energy at the moment with the Death cards. And ending a chapter of your life can really be a lot of inner transformational work, and it's really signifying that. But this period of abundance is coming your way, and that abundance is very likely to spark this, overflow of joy, of emotion, of feeling emotionally refreshed. So I really feel the burden that you have felt, or that you currently are feeling, is going to dissipate, and it's going to refresh your mind, body, and soul, and that will just put you in the right position to be open to someone else. So do not worry if you're kind of feeling disheartened right now. I completely understand that you feel disheartened about this card, just juggling everything and trying to do your best. You will get out of that, and something new will come in. It's kind of like, making space to allow what you need to go through right now. And that allowing that and trying to not control everything will bring about this new perspective that will lead you to a new love interest, or at the very least a new renewed feeling of being emotional available again. And that in itself is of course always very important. If you're not emotionally available, you obviously are not in the best position to make a solid connection with someone else. So it's really about being open to receive, being open to recognize that new opportunity and new emotional connections are going to come your way. I hope this was helpful, pile number one, and hopefully see you in another reading. Hi, and welcome to your reading. This is the reading for pile number two. So pile number two was either a choice of this rose quartz or the tarot card from the Shadowscape Tarot. And the overarching theme for this reading for pile number two is the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups is a card of being emotionally confused, being in a state that you have many options in front of you, and you're just really not sure what to choose out of those options, because you're very unsure about what you will find in one of these outcomes that you potentially have within your reach. And you can't really see that in this card, but normally in a traditional tarot there's 7 cups and there's like a different item coming out of the cup. It's a little bit different in this particular tarot deck, but the cups that are surrounding these two people are sort of indicating that the emotional part of this card is saying that everything is quite unsure, and it's so it's just not very stable. And the fact that you're not really sure what part of of the connection is leading to exactly what expectation is making it very ungrounded. Like I can almost see that this figure that's sort of like pointing to the tree here in the sky, like this is where the groundedness is, and the groundedness is not here because it's just not very visible, and it's very difficult to understand how you can get there. So, even though this whole pick a card reading was kind of like called love situationships, pile number one was not really so much about the situationship, but I think this particular pile definitely might be. So it could be that you are like maybe dating someone, maybe seeing someone very casually, and you're very unsure where this connection is headed. So we're just going to delve in with the Shadowscape Tarot deck and see what comes out that you need to know about this. But there's definitely, there's like an opportunity for a building block. There's one card that kind of flew out. I'm just going to get that card. I just wanted to show you this card. It's the Six of Pentacles that flew out, and I'm just going to take this card as significant because I don't know if it shows up in the recording, but it really flew out quite fiercely out of the deck. And the Six of Pentacles is about give and take, and usually it's asking about an equality within give and take. So maybe you are currently, kind of seeing someone, but either you or the other person is just not very able at the moment to kind of give equally into the connection as you are, or you as they are, if that makes sense. So let's just ask what it is that you... Wow, okay, this deck wants to talk about this issue. It's just card flying out. This this connection is just, it's really, the roadmap is there, or you have an idea of what it could look like, what this connection could potentially be in the future. But how to get there is really not clear at all. So the steps and the action plans and the end goal are just not very aligned at the moment. So let's just see what information we can gather about this. Okay, for pile 2, what is it that we need to know about their love connection? For pile 2, what does pile 2 need to know about their love connection? I'm not going to take this card as a part of the reading because it fell out weird. What does pile 2 need to know? What does pile 2 need to know about their love connection? What does pile 2 need to know about their love connection? Okay. see, Ten of Pentacles, spell 2, need to know Ten of Connection. Ten of Wands, spell 2, need to know. The Three of Cups, the Hermit, High Priestess. I'm going to get into the cards just in a second. I just want to, I feel like I need at least one more card because we need to know about that of connection. I'll just Two of Wands. Ooh, it's like, well, not ooh, I mean, I'm just like, okay. I'm kind of getting an understanding of what's going on here. Okay, so there's a lot of cards here, actually, and I'm just going to show them to you in order of how it kind of fell out. Okay, right, so we had the Seven of Cups, right, with this sort of ungrounded feeling, this, you know, groundedness that is somewhere high up in the sky, and it's just very unclear how to incorporate that groundedness within your love connection. And the Ace of Swords came out after that, which means that there is really a need for clarity, and this clarity can only come through communication. You know, swords are, you know, the element of the mind, the element of thoughts, of patterns, of thought behaviors. So I have this feeling that someone is just not very clear in their communication towards you, and if this is really a situationship where you just kind of like, I really don't know which way this is headed, it might be time to really communicate clearly about that, you know, because at the moment it's just kind of all over the place, and it's making you emotionally quite, you know, kind of like not on your feet. It's making you feel unstable. And the Chariot card here that came out after that is kind of, you know, reaffirming that message, because the Chariot is very skilled in, you know, having these two horses in front of this chariot that is being ridden. And the two horses are quite difficult to hold them in tandem and make them go together in an even pace. That is what this card is about, to kind of like control these horses in such a way that they both go into the same direction. And in this card particularly, you kind of like see different movements within these two, you know, with each of these horses. So this is about two people that are both talking kind of like a different type of line of communication. It's not on the same page. It's not aligned. And this non-alignment, this kind of, you know, feeling uncertain about where you're at emotionally and in this connection is making you, you know, kind of feel like you're not really on course with anything. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune can be that, you know, that there's a change of a change or an event that will set something in motion, that it will change. But it can also be that if you until recently have kind of like felt on top of the world, it may change, or vice versa. Or if you haven't felt on top, it might change for the better. But there's going to be some type of karmic event that is going to really turn the tables around, and that might be set in motion because, you know, your willingness to accept the situation for what it is and communicate clearly about, or it's going to be forced on you, like something will just happen out of the blue that will let that clarity come in. Because the Wheel of Fortune is a major arcana card, and major arcana cards are usually the cards that we have less control over compared to the pip cards. And the pip cards are like aces to the tens. Then you have court cards, page, knight, queen, king. But the major arcana cards are usually about bigger life lessons, and the Wheel of Fortune is usually quite a karmic card. Like, it just promises change, but this change might be kind of like forced on you. So if you're not willing to at the moment really confront the situation, then something might happen that it will inevitably lead to that. Like something will come to a head and will open up whatever is disconcerting. And then I have the Five of Pentacles, and the Five of Pentacles is a card of, feeling lost, feeling despaired, feeling shut out, and kind of isolating yourself. So I think this is a bit of a warning that, or warning sounds quite heavy, but just a point of attention that if you are not gonna communicate clearly about what it is that you desire, about what it is that you want out of this connection, and that Wheel of Fortune is going to force it, then it is really important that you are not going to isolate yourself. Do not, start sitting in a corner and kind of like shut everything out. It's really important that you connect to your friends, your family, to have this connection to community in a way, because the Ten of Pentacles is a card of community, a card of legacy, a card of feeling abundant. And the Five of Pentacles is usually a card of acknowledging that you are feeling shut out, but also that you have the freedom to make you feel part again of something else. So it's not going to be, the end all is all. It's just, I think, kind of like a little flag that's saying like, you will have to use this Ace of Swords, communicate, say what it is that you have on your mind. And if that person, that person that you are dating or that you are like seeing more casually, if that person is saying like, oh, if you explain it like that, then I'm unsure if I want to still be in this connection, then fine, then let them go. Then they are just really not worth your investment and your time and energy. But if this person is saying like, oh, I had no idea that you kind of had this perspective on it, then maybe that door will open up to something else, I mean, this is really kind of like, obviously a kind of a 50-50 situation. But I think it's currently just really important that that is sort of, not knowing this and this emotional instability is being addressed. And if you don't want to do that with your significant other just yet, if you don't want to confront it in that manner, at least be very clear for yourself what it is that you want, and is it realistic that you want this? The next card, the Ten of Wands, is showing that, everything can feel like kind of like a spiritual burden at this moment. The Ten of Wands being sort of your life force, energy, movement, activation, and the Ten of Wands is really the end of a cycle. So I think you are probably really feeling that you do need to tackle this head on and communicate what it is that you kind of expect and desire and what you want to see in this connection, because it's getting too much. It's like you're carrying this burden by yourself, and you don't want to do that anymore. And you shouldn't, because it can make you feel overloaded. And if you feel overloaded, you become, more vulnerable in getting maybe sick, or, kind of not being present enough. And I really hope you don't hear this, but there's like a leaf blower guy outside. So apologies for the noise. But the Ten of Wands is really important to acknowledge that things are too much. The burden that you are carrying is not something that you can address by yourself. So I really feel that, acknowledging all of this is going to lead you into a better path, because after the Ten of Wands, we get the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups is about friendship, connections, celebrating, having fun together, enjoying life. But it can also be a card of three people in a connection. So it could also possibly, for those of you that are, dating someone, it could be that either you or the other person or you both are also seeing other people. So the love connection for this pile is really about, you're either just dating around, or that's kind of like signaling this situationship, and you want it to to be more exclusive, or you accepting the situation that it is really casual and you know from each other that you're seeing other people, but that needs to be clear. It needs to be clear internally and also together as a connection. So yeah, that's the sort of like the friendship card and possibly someone else that's within this connection. Then I get the Hermit. Yeah, I think this card is really kind of literally shining a light on the situation. It's you need the shining light here. You need to understand for yourself what it is that you will and will not accept. I think it's really important that you have a real clear mindset on that. Like, what is it that you want, and what is it that brings you fulfillment? And I think you're really searching for that at the moment. You're really searching for that light to kind of go like, oh, okay, that was my missing piece of understanding. Then the High Priestess. And the High Priestess can be a card of secrets. And also a higher knowledge. So it's kind of interesting that the Hermit, which can also be kind of like a card of spirituality, but seeking for enlightenment in your own isolation, and the High Priestess is being very aware of this sort of hidden knowledge and reveling in that higher knowledge and making sure that your intuition is aligned with that. So there's this sort of like double message here about communication, about a connection that is just not really in alignment at this moment, and kind of like bringing that together into a understanding that makes alignment more equal, or to split off and say, you know what, I just really don't feel comfortable with with the situation as it is. It's not fulfilling me. Therefore, I'm, shining a light on my own path and continue on my own. And this is the choice that you will have to make, because the Two of Wands is about a choice. You're kind of contemplating between, I know this is one path ahead and I know this is the other path ahead. And you're currently in this kind of like split decision of which way you're going to go. But whatever you choose, I really do hope that you take to heart the messages of this reading, that it is important to clearly communicate your what you accept and what you don't accept, no matter the outcome. Because if this person really wants to stay connected with you, then they will want to pull effort for that. I put that Six of Pentacles that flew out at the beginning of the deck, but this is really about equal give and take. And you deserve equal give and take, But if you're fine with dating someone casually and you know that the other person or you or both of you are dating other people and you're okay with that, then that's also fine. But then don't expect something to come out of that in terms of a real relationship, because that may never happen, or it might take a long time to happen, but just don't put expectations on it. And that is the importance of this message. So if your boundaries are being crossed, I think you know when boundaries are being crossed, because usually you get this underbelly feeling of like, ugh, this is really not feeling great for me. Then it's time to really think about acknowledging that and approaching it in the best way for you. So let's just see with the Romance Angels deck, what is this that you need to know about your love connection? It says your love life is being affected by children, and also engagement flew out. So actually, for this is a general reading, so it might not apply to everyone. But there's definitely a possibility that when you are communicating your wishes clearly, there is a possibility that the other person might say, you know what, actually, let's see where we can take this connection and maybe make a bit more of a solidified partnership out of it. That might not be applicable to everyone, and I think listening to your own intuition in this is really important. Like, that's why it's so important to communicate what it is that you want. And I just in a second, just check up on what your love life is being affected by children. Yeah, maybe this is also a situationship where you or the other person or both of you have children, which makes it difficult to really fully commit to each other, because maybe the kids are very young and you don't want to you don't want to involve another person into your life yet because you have kids. So that might certainly be a concern for some of you. Let's just see if we can get one more from the Romance Angel Oracle deck. What is it that Paul tunes know about their love connection? Let go of control issues. I'm laughing because we also had this card for the pile number 1 reading. Let go of control issues. Okay, so it says allow this situation to unfold naturally. I think to a certain degree, allow it to unfold naturally. I think that's more in alignment with if your significant other is saying, you know what, let's see where this connection can take us. If you do that with your person, then it may be really important that you do not try to control the situation, but that you just kind of really take a step back and just let it flow, and try not to interfere too much by controlling someone's behavior, or it's just important to take it as that person is saying. Then maybe don't expect the world out of it just yet. Let it flow and see where it ends up. New love. Oh, okay, nice. New love. It says a new person has stirred your romantic feelings. So I think this is kind of like a card for both outcomes. So if the outcome is, after this confrontation and communicating clearly what it is that you want out of the connection, so either there's going to be this ascending of the connection in terms of more commitment, but then it will be important not to try to control that path. Or if the person that you are currently seeing is saying like, okay, if this is what you want, then I'm not sure if I can give that to you, and maybe removing themselves a bit more, then there will be a new person coming in to take that place, and who's possibly more willing to be emotionally vulnerable and emotionally available to you. So either way, it's what will be in terms of who is the best connection for you, for your highest good, for the best match for you in terms of what you want. So either way, it will be a good outcome. Even if your person is going to say like, you know what, I'm just really not sure if we want the same thing, then fine, let them go, and then that was just not your person. But then someone else will come in and will possibly offer you something that is more in your line of expectation and of what it is that you desire. So that might, of course, that might be painful for a while, but you will get over it, and you will have someone new in your life. And let's see, as a final message, let's just see. Just one more card as a final message for the pile number 2 from the Angel Answers Oracle deck. What is it that pile 2 needs to know about their love connection? What is it that pile 2 needs to know about their love connection? What is that pile 2 needs to know about their love connection? Perfect timing. Okay, so that there might be a divine timing issue at hand. It might be that in case that you're just not sure if you want to do this confrontation just yet, then just wait and just follow your gut with it. And it might also be that this is now the perfect timing to had this, to kind of like go into this and just make sure that whatever action you are taking is going to be in your highest good. And as I'm explaining this, I'm kind of feeling that I'm confusing the message. So I just want to get the book to just ensure that I'm communicating this clearly myself. Perfect timing. All right, this is the perfect timing for the situation you've asked about. Move forward with confidence. Don't delay or hesitate because an energy gateway is presently open for you. Conditions are ripe. Even if you don't feel prepared, rest assured that you are. Okay, so yeah, the timing is actually perfect for you to confront the situation and to, feel confident that you need to do what you need to do for yourself to make sure that you're not in this space where you're just hesitating, that you're just unclear. It's time to release. It's time to release that burden, as that Ten of Wands was indicating. Release that burden, and the timing is perfect for you to confront the situation and to make sure that you are getting the fulfillment out of this that you deserve. And it's either going to lead to a new love in a different person, or it's going to send you to the possibility of a more deeper commitment with your current significant other, your current person. I hope that this reading was helpful. As I said before, it was a general reading, so it may not resonate with all of you, but I hope that for most of you that it did. And see you again in another reading. Thank you. Hi, and welcome to pile number 3. This is your reading if you have chosen either the red jasper pointed crystal or the tarot card from the Light Seers Tarot. And we're just having a look at this card now. So this card is representative of the sort of overall energy or the overarching theme of this particular love connection of pile 3. And the star is a card of renewed hope, faith, inspiration. And as you can see, this figure in the card is just kind of like looking up to the sky, having her this sort of like white thread running from herself to the sky. So this is, to me, also an indication that you have, in a way, also are putting your faith into sort of like a higher knowledge, or kind of letting the universe do its work. Let's just see how this is connected to the question about what is going on in your love connection. But for me, this could already maybe mean that maybe you've had you've had a breakup, and you're kind of like in this healing phase. So that was the first thing that came to mind. But let's see what else the cards are going to say about this. There's definitely, this renewed idea of, something is aligned again. Like this idea of hope and inspiration is coming after a time of difficulty. So it's a really lovely card, because it speaks so much about having done a lot of healing and having come to a place where you can just really be at peace. So that's a really nice card. Now let's just see what else pile 3 needs to know about their love connection. What does pile 3 need to know about their love connection? This one fell out first. Okay, I'm just gonna shuffle a couple of more cards. Okay, let's see what this card is. Oh, lovely, the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. There's a lot of satisfactions in this card so far. Okay, let's see. The Hierophant. Okay. I'll come back to the cards just in a second. Just want to see if anything else comes out. Okay. The Page of Wands. Let's do a couple more. The Knight of Wands. Now we're getting into the court cards. Okay, I just want to pull one more. I'll feel this one here. And the Chariot. That's funny, the Chariot actually came up in the previous pile as well. Okay, let's just see what we have here, and then I think I will pull cards from the Romance Angels deck as well, and then after that some Angel Answer Oracle cards. Okay, so we've had the Star. We had a look at this sense of renewed hope, inspiration, healing, feeling tied or connected to the universe. So as I said, I think the energy for this pile, and I've said this for all the piles reading, but this is of course a general reading, so not everything may apply to everyone that's watching this. So take what resonates for you and kind of leave behind what doesn't. It's always, it's always important to be discerning. So what else came out? We have the World card. Now, the World is a card of ascending to a higher level, which it's, maybe if you've seen previous videos that I did that showed the same kind of cards as well. The World is kind of like the Death card in the tarot, but it's not entirely the same. Both cards speaks of an ending to about. Sorry, like my speech, my thinking patterns were actually faster than how I was speaking. So the World is a card of endings and new beginnings, just like the Death Tarot. The difference, however, is that death is usually signifying really a huge major transformation, and the World is kind of more like, okay, you finished with this one chapter of your life, and you've gathered so much knowledge and spirituality that you're ascending to a higher level. So you're starting a new chapter, but it's kind of like built on the past, whereas the Death card is usually you really, you've done your part with the past, and that's kind of like that's a closed off section, and then you're starting a transformation that's leading into a new path. But the ascendancy of the World is really about going towards achievement, going towards self-fulfillment. And that's really, I don't know, I really feel that that's quite aligned with the Stars card that I pulled. So let's just see what else we can gather, because there's a couple of major arcana cards here. We also have the Sun, which is a card of enlightenment, shining a light on something, or something is illuminated. It's about confidence, being very assured with yourself, very positive outcome. So a lot of success. I mean, this is just, this is just very clearly like so much energy, but a very sort of like ecstasy-like energy almost. And when we continue to the other cards, the Queen of Pentacles fell out of the deck. The Queen of Pentacles is a court card, and there's 3 court cards in total here. So the Queen of Pentacles being one of them. And the Queen of Pentacles is really like a sort of caregiver energy. So someone who's really looking after, themselves, their family members, their loved ones, but also someone who really takes care of the sort of like the environment, the home environment. And also there's a connection here to nature. I mean, obviously she has these sort of like twigs coming out of this sort of shawl that she's wearing around her head. while holding a pentacle. So it's like, the sort of like beauty factor is there, but it's also about groundedness. The pentacles are the material realm, anything tangible and very practical. So this is a practical orientated person with the energy of really having a strong determination to take care of things. So this may be you, or this may be someone else that you're thinking of that is significant in your life in some way. Then we have the Hierophant, which is in this tarot deck also quite a card that's connected to spirituality, or like having that sort of ascendancy again. It's slightly different than the World card because it's spiritual evolvement, but oftentimes it's mostly meant in terms of more institution based ideas. So oftentimes the Hierophant can actually be connected to marriage because, an institution, obviously within the historical line of religion and marriage, there was some religious figure that would, that would sort of like legitimize a marriage, and that's sort of like reminiscent within this tarot card, although it's depicted differently in this deck. So I would say that this is sort of like a spiritual ascendancy, but it seems to me that in this particular illustration, it's very much about, having that enlightenment in such a way that you kind of are overjoyed with having this much growth. And it's like literally, again, it's quite interesting. It's like both are sort of, looking towards, a heavenly body, looking towards the star. This one is same as the other one. It's slightly, different in its illustration, but I think it comes down to having so much faith that you are at peace at the same time. So that's really lovely. I just need to continue with these cards because for me, the question about love is not really coming out just yet, but that might come because we also have the Page of Wands here, and the Page of Wands is a court card, just as the Knight of Wands is. So the Page of Wands is about messages, and the page can bring, because this is a Wands card, it can bring messages of action, it can bring messages of inspiration, and oftentimes it's about this sort of creative force that is still quite young, so it still hasn't had the, like solid channeling of where this energy needs to go or how it can grow, but it is there, it's present. And the Knight of Wands is kind of similar in a way, although the Knight is a bit more mature than the Page of Wands. So if we're talking about a love connection here, it's quite possible that this is about a Page of Wands type of individual and a Knight of Wands Knight of Wands individual. So both are quite similar, although one is a little bit older than the other. So I feel that, having pulled these court cards, and court cards are not always representative of an actual person, but it can be. And oftentimes it just represents energy. But because this, is a reading about a love connection, I'm going to read it as two people. And I feel that this connection, this love connection that all these cards are speaking of, and of course, I'm saying two courts card, but we also had the Queen of Pentacles. So there's also, an even more mature energy here, differentiated in, sort of different symbolism and different kind of elemental energy, because it's about the Pentacles, not about Wands. So it could even be that there's, it could even be that there's also three people in this particular connection. Or I'm just wondering if this is about, these two people being together and the connection is sort of like blessed by this queen, because this card feels so motherly. It's like, for me, this really represents a mother type figure. And maybe this is a card of I bless this relationship here between this page and this knight, because everything feels very light and very evolved and very blessed from the universe. And even this queen is kind of like, I acknowledge this. I'm giving my stamp of approval here. Like everything feels quite spiritual. So it might be that there's somehow there's like a religious factor within this relationship or within this love connection. That could be, just a love connection that is not really evolved into a relationship yet, but it could be. But it really feels like there's not only from this Queen of Pentacles, but from the universe, it feels like there's so much lightness here, very light and very happy and very confident and very, like you're growing together, you're growing in tandem with a particular person. Really, I don't know, like a really a sort of like a familiar feeling. And then we also have the Chariot. And the Chariot is basically a card of having a lot of willpower and willpower to kind of like steer yourself into the direction that you need to go in. Every tarot deck depicts this card differently, but this, you see this sort of like driver on this chariot here, and he's trying to keep this black horse and white horse, who are really the quite polar opposites. He's trying to keep them in line so that they don't go off into a different kind of trajectory separately. So there's willpower here to bring something together that it's important. And because there's movement in this card, it could also be indicating an actual moving house or moving location. That could be part of this as well. Very, yeah, not a very, very overly clear love connection in what I'm getting from these cards. I just want to see if something else comes out. Let's see. Okay, that was too many cards that fell out. The Devil, okay. Could be saying something about addiction, bad habits, bad patterns in the way of living. Let's see what else. The Moon. Okay, now we're getting really like sort of like going from this really light energy to this kind of heavy energy all of a sudden. The Devil and the Moon card are really, the Moon is very much about subconscious feelings that haven't really reached the surface yet. And like I said, the Devil can be really about sort of like control issues, bad habits, could even indicate addiction. Let's see what else. Oh, Knight of Cups. Okay, well, this is, if you're talking about sort of like the ideal cards that you would like to show up in a love reading, then the Knight of Cups is definitely one of them, because this is usually, an individual that's coming towards you with an offer. And in this case, it might be someone inviting you on for a date or something. So that's definitely coming out. But it's surrounded by quite heavy cards. see my cat in the background. Oh wow, the Ace of Cups. Okay, now we're really getting to the Suit of Cups, which is the realm of emotions, of feelings, and everything. So that's really getting closer to the idea of the association that we have between the elements of cups and love connections. Okay, let's see what else. The Hanged Man. I'm going to go back to these cards in a little bit. So I just want to pull one more. Okay. Ooh, Two of Cups. Wonderful. Okay, this reading is really kind of like throwing me for a bit of a loop because there's like such an array of like different types of energies here. Like it almost reads like a personal journey in a way. So maybe, as I said, this is a general reading, so it might not apply to everyone, but it almost feels like I have someone's journey here in front of me, kind of like, um, because the star element of faith, hope, ascendancy, spirituality, this mother figure, this page, and Knight of Wands, the chariot trying to steer everything in a direction of willpower. And I almost feel that this chariot, this card about trying to stay in your lane, trying to overcome an obstacle by making sure that you are just being focused and determined and just keeping at it at the same pace to make sure that you're not falling sideways. And I mean, it makes sense for me to make the connection with the devil and the moon card that I pulled just now. So, like I said, the devil card can be, well, I mean, it's more associated with sort of like some negative energies within the tarot card. So it's more about someone, either yourself or someone else, who had the tendency to be codependent. And that could have been even increased by some type of addiction or just sort of negative behavior, such as, for example, narcissism. I'm just saying something. Often that kind of like goes hand in hand with like a tendency of negative behavior. And you see how this man is sort of like controlling the shadow here. So this is definitely an element of control here. And I feel like whoever is kind of like resonating with this, narrative, I feel like you've done a lot of work in trying to keep this in line with someone else or within yourself. And the moon, as I said, is like sort of like really deep seated subconscious emotions that haven't really come to the surface yet. And because they haven't really surfaced, it's something that probably is ongoing in a process of healing and kind of like making peace with that sort of dual side within yourself or within someone else, like a type of duality. So it's really interesting that we have the star and the moon, kind of like, again, this sort of like heavenly bodies, the universe that's connected in this reading in terms of healing subconscious, but also going into enlightenment and spiritual ascendancy into success and abundance and achievement. So a really interesting storyline here. I hope you can see why. I hope that I'm explaining it well enough that you can sort of like follow my way of thinking here, because there's so much positivity here. The sun, these fire cards, like just so much newness, so much refreshing, adventurous energy. And then we go, just do kind of like recap. There's been a journey here. There's been a journey on something that wasn't easy. And whether you've done this journey by yourself or with someone together that you're really, who you really care about, this journey is coming to a really, to a really fulfilling conclusion, because we have so much, so many cards that are really talking about this ascendancy or achievement and growing together. So we're getting to the sort of like more connected cards to emotion and love and relationships, because we have the Knight of Cups here. That is can be someone that's coming forward to really offer you something romantic, something dreamy. This is really usually a sort of the archetype of the sensitive person, or someone with a lot of sensitivity, someone who's really intuitive and can bring something in terms of that sensitivity so that you can incorporate that within your life. And I feel that this is why this knight here is depicted with flowers in a hat. He's almost saying, like, you know what, I'm secure now with what I'm feeling. I feel good now, and now I can invite you to join me on this ride. Also the horses within this reading. Horses again in the background. Horses. So really, horses may be significant here also. And horses really, like I said, often symbolize movement. So there will be a lot of acceleration of energy with this love connection that it is about. So if you're single, if you're not seeing anyone yet, then this person may come forward very quickly because you've really gone through the motion of dealing with some heavy shit, or you've dealt with someone who really had that bond with you in a codependency style, but you're healing that. And then this person is coming forward, and this person will be very, very much more in touch with their own emotion. And I feel that will be quite the different kind of experience from what you've had in your past. A very welcome experience, I feel, because then we have the Ace of Cups, which is an overflow of emotion. And you can see in this tarot deck, it's kind of like the cup is, held close to the sort of like the heart section, which means it's like your heart is opening up again, and it can flow again. The emotions and feelings that you have can flow, and it's safe for you to let that flow. So it really, someone is going to stir your heart, or this might be someone completely new. This also might be someone that's already in your life, but because there were other things going on, you never really either had the chance to see that person in that sense, or you yourself just weren't ready. And I kind of feel that it could be actually you, if you're watching this reading, that this concerns about, because the Hanged Man is also here. And the Hanged Man is a card of suspension and seeing things in a different light, having thought about things and reviewed it, and now you have a different perspective about this. And it's quite interesting that I think it was the previous reading of Pile 2 that kind of had similar cards, actually. I mean, this is a completely different tarot deck, but it also actually had the Hanged Man and the Ace of Cups coming out. So that's quite interesting that we have these cards sort of as a recurring theme for more than one reading. So you might have this new perception about a particular connection that's already in existence, or you've done this journey for yourself and it has led to you being able to see things in a different way. And then we have this sort of like ultimate kind of love card of a beginning relationship, the Two of Cups, because this is like a joining together, these two hands, two cups, that is just, the partnership, two people becoming one, interconnecting in a sense, in their lives, their love. So it's really about a partnership, an emotional partnership, because it's the cups, and cups are representative of emotions and feelings. So there's definitely some type of acceleration of energies here that is leading towards a partnership that is much more equal, that is much more kind of like on the same page. And this is it's just feeling so just so lovely and so fresh, and so something that you really have looked forward to, and something that you also really deserve, because it hasn't been easy. It really feels like it's been really rough, and someone is coming in on your path that will really offer you this completely new idea of how you've seen or experienced love before. So that's really exciting. Like the Two of Cups is just, yeah, I mean, like I said, if you're doing a tarot reading on love, then and you're interested in a relationship, this is really the card that you would like to see. And the funny thing is when was shuffling these cards, I was actually thinking like, I haven't had the Two of Cups yet in one of these readings yet, and then here it is. It showed up. So there's a real chance that a relationship is going to be part of your life very, very soon. I think for me, these horses are really indicating some type of speed here. And you've done the work. You've done the work to get yourself to this point where you're also ready to head in that direction, and to kind of like, be open to, having this joining of forces together, this joining of love, because you both understand what it is that you want from each other, and it's in alignment, it's equal, and it's reciprocative. I'm hoping that I'm pronouncing that right. It's a very equal feeling of the same type of emotions between two separate people. So that's a really good sign. So let's just see from the Romance Angels deck what they have to say about this love connection. Okay, nothing. Usually when nothing really falls out automatically out of a deck, I will just do the shuffling slightly different. Let's give it one more go. This one wanted to fall out. Okay, I just want to pull a couple of more. Okay, I want to pull this one, and what fell out? Oh, lovely, worth waiting for. And it says, divine timing is at work in your love life. Okay, so this is meaning that if this hasn't come together yet, this Two of Cups, if hasn't come to fruition yet, it's because there's divine timing here. So meaning that you probably have to wait for a little bit for everything to come together, and for it to be the perfect moment to actually be together in this equal partnership. And I pulled also, let your friends help you, ask for and accept support from others. So this can be an indication that it would be really good to, talk about your wishes and dreams for this love connection with your friends or with your family, within your community. Maybe to get some different kinds of insights, or hear from others what their experience is, and that will just help you, have a better idea of, what this equal partnership can look like how you can incorporate this in your life. So that's really lovely. Let's see what else. Oh, wow, new love. Okay, new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. Okay, so this can actually be like a completely new person that's coming into your life, with whom you will have this new experience of love and equality within the partnership. So that's really so lovely. And if this is someone new that's coming in, then I really feel that, this journey that I've spoken about is really just applicable to yourself. And now you're opening up to something new because you're ready. You just have to wait for this little bit of divine timing that's still at play here, to kind of like wrap up the final loose ends. Oh, wow. Reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. Okay, so it can be a new love, but I wonder if it can be sort of like a new love, or a new type of love with a person that you already know that's returning in your life. Or Or it could be that, you have done this work, this spiritual work and this inner work, individually, for yourself or for your significant other, or maybe you both needed to work some stuff out, and now you're both healed enough to come together again. So this is really interesting because, I mean, you have this newness, this new person, but also someone from your past. So I think there's maybe two scenarios here, and that might be because, the like I said, there will be different types of people looking at this reading, but maybe picking the same pile, but no situation is the same, right? So there's kind of like two options here, or like two different paths of how it can be playing out, in connection to what is the most applicable path here, or what is the most applicable journey. Okay, let's see what else. Let's just get one more from this Romance Angels deck. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. Okay, so yeah, this could actually indicate that, when you are coming together with your person that you're interested in, that you will retreat from the world to spend time together. But it could also mean that, with this worth waiting for card, that divine timing is at play. That, there still might be a little bit of final loose ends to kind of like take notice of, and do that in a way that makes you feel, completely healed and completely work through everything. So it could be either way. I kind of feel it will be a retreat with two people, just because also, there's two figures here in this card. So there might be some time coming up that you really need to spend together, and maybe, it's good to plan a trip, or as this card is showing, like take a walk in a forest and just really talk everything out, get to know each other, and kind of see where you're at and what you envision for your connection. Okay, now I just want to see for a final message from the Angel Answers deck, if there's anything that we need to know about the love connection for people that chose pile number 3, people that chose pile number 3. Meditation brings answers. Okay, well, this is kind of in line with retreats. So maybe if you still have some sort of like unanswered questions for yourself or within a certain connection, meditation can also bring answers. And I also always feel that, I think it's important to kind of like connect cards together. So maybe meditation within nature will really help give you some extra insight that could be really relevant for you. So meditation brings answers. Let's see, final message for pile number 3. Yeah, that one fell on the floor. I'm just gonna pause the camera and pick that up. Let's see if one more wants to come out. Okay, I want to pick this one. You're ready. Okay, lovely. So this is really, sort of like acknowledging that the confidence that you're feeling after all this hard work has made you ready. You're ready for something new entering your life, whether this is a new person or a reconciliation with someone that you already know, and that you've really gone through the motions to kind of like get to where you are, but you are ready. Okay, I'm going to pick that card from the floor. Okay, so the card that fell on the floor was forgiveness. So there's definitely here this element of still needing to take a little bit of time to make a real, true healing connection within yourself. And part of that, apparently, to really kind of like end this chapter, to close this one chapter that you've gone through, an important part of that is forgiveness. This could be forgiveness towards yourself, but this also could be forgiveness towards others. So take what resonates within that. But there's definitely a love connection on its way that's going to be meaningful. And it's going to be meaningful because you've really have worked your ass off. Basically, you've really done a lot to get to where you are and want to be. So this ascendancy is here, this confidence is here, this creative energy, inspiration, love. It's all going to be there for you really soon. The horses within these cards, this movement is just indicating that. And don't forget that we started this reading with the star. So whether has been your personal journey towards healing and forgiveness and making sure that you feel part of the world again in a way. This is just an amazing, this is just an amazing achievement that you have done. Whether you've done it for yourself or if you've done that together with someone, or your loved one has done that individually, it is just a really wonderful growth. And I think I said it earlier in the reading, but like, just I feel satisfaction also from this reading. Like, there's been some really difficult stuff has been fought, and you have overcome this, or that other person has overcome this, and now it's time for enjoyment. So embrace this enjoyment that's coming your way. And remember, this Two of Cups is talking about a very equal partnership. You're emotionally going to be on the same page. So it has been worth this. This fight has been worth it. Whatever it has been, it's really been an eye opener for you. And I really hope that this is something that you can just trust in and rely on, and looking forward to. So thank you so much for being part of this reading, and hopefully see you soon.